Hello.
Yo.
Welcome to Cool Ranch Corner episode 60. We were supposed to have a guest, but it turns out they were moving to a new home, I guess. So that seemed like a good reason to push it to next episode. Uh, but I did reach out to a backup, thinking that maybe that just won't work out, and that person also might be joining us. So maybe we'll have a two-person episode to make up for the fact that episode 60 doesn't have a guest. Two really cool guys, chill guys.
Yes, sir.
But what's new with you, man?
So I'm starting third shift, which is kind of funny because I remember like just recently I was like, yeah, I'm on first and it sucks. Oh, now I'm on second, so now I'm going to third. But it's just my choice. Like I'm choosing to go to third. It's gonna be nice because I'll wake up like middle of the night, right? Drive to work, no traffic. Okay. Get off work in like the early morning, like 8 o'clock, right? Drive home, traffic's still not too bad. All the stores are still mostly empty and stuff like that. Like, it's gonna be nice. I'm gonna be awake during the day, which is not usual. Like, usually I wake up and then like most of my time is spent at night. Like, I usually go to bed at like 4 in the morning, and now that won't be the case. So I'm excited to see daylight. Like that's
I remember I worked. I think I worked third shift when I was at the air station for like 6 months. Not even 6 months. I think I was like, yo, get me off of this as soon as you can, because like you don't fly. Like I was like, yeah, I don't, I mean, I think if you were on third shift, you didn't have to stand duty, and I was like, I want to stand duty. That's like where the cool shit happens.
hmm.
And so I don't think if it was even a full 6 months that I was on there. And then like I started flying more than anybody else, so that was whatever. But I did not like getting off work at midnight and then like going home and like needing to eat and shower and all that stuff, and then it's like 2 a.m. by the time I've gotten like everything situated, because it's San Francisco, so you know everything's a pain in the ass. But I did not like getting up late and going to bed late and waking up late. Just always felt off to me.
Yeah.
uh
Well, so and that's the thing. So second shift, the way that it's worked for me for the past basically year, because I've been, well, it's probably closer to like 9 months, but basically it's like people, a lot of people will do one of two things. Either they will wake up early in the morning, or not early in the morning, but like earlier in the day, I should say, and then they'll do their shift, and then they'll go to bed right when they get home. And I'm like, no, I need like some wind down time. Like I can't just immediately go straight to bed. So I would wake up
I
at,
can't either, yeah.
yeah, I'd wake up at like, I don't know, like usually 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then do a 9 hour shift from 2:30 or 3 o'clock to like midnight, 12:30, whatever, right? And then I go to bed at like 4:30. And with this, since it's gonna be well, actually, so technically it was 9.5 hours because of the lunch. But this shift is gonna be 7 hours, and I get paid the same as if I was working nine. So
Makes sense.
I work less hours, and it's like third shift. Some people, or some places, they will do third shift where it's like the middle of the night, and that's where you're there. Whereas me, I've kind of made it so that like I leave at like a normal time where people are awake. So it's, I don't know, like I'm like, it doesn't seem that bad. One of the guys at work is like trying to go to first shift, and he's like, there's no way I'm gonna get it though, because like with all the union stuff, it's really hard to like push someone off that shift if you don't have seniority. And I'm like, dude, go to third. No one wants to be on third, and you still get to go outside at like a normal time. You don't get that with second. He's like, I don't know, but I'm excited. I think it's super underrated. The way they do third shift where I work, um, but God, man, I hate going to the store in the afternoon. It's always busy, and so now I won't have to deal with that, and it's just like my favorite part about it.
Yeah, I was telling Chris he's still got to try Sprite Cranberry. He hasn't tried it yet.
Maybe they'll have it in stock soon, dude. I don't know. When I went last time, like there was nothing Sprite
Last year
cranberry
they
related.
had like an initial drop and then it was gone like the whole winter, and so that's why I stocked up this time.
I
I mean, it was
I
partly a joke, but
I can't believe that it's actually like good though, because the meme was like
I love it.
was it LeBron who was it that was doing
Yeah, it's
the
like one Sprite
yeah, I want
cranberry.
to Sprite cranberry, and then it was like the I don't know. Anyways, I didn't think it was gonna taste good, so that's why I was like, whatever the
Yeah,
past few years. But if you're saying it's good, then maybe, yeah, I'll probably try it soon, as
I
soon as I
it's
find
zero
it.
sugar too, man. You can get zero sugar. That's the way that I go.
Well,
But
I got Little Caesars today, and I was kind of surprised. So I got zero sugar Pepsi the past like week at work, right? Just because I haven't had zero
it's
sugar
good,
Pepsi in a
right?
while. Well, it's good, but then I tried the regular Pepsi today because that's all that Little Caesars have, and it tastes the exact same. It's
I'm telling
weird.
you. Pepsi, I tell everybody, I'm like, because everybody's like, oh, Coke Zero is so good. I'm like, dude, you got to try Pepsi. Somehow they figured out how to make it taste like the syrup. Exactly. It's
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah,
It is like hands down the best like zero sugar cola, Pepsi Zero Sugar. I like the way that certain, like when I go to Chipotle and when I go to Cinemark, they have Coke products. For some reason, their Coke Zero tastes better than any Coke Zero. It's almost like getting Diet Coke from McDonald's. They like keep the syrup cold all the way
oh, they have
through
like
the whole thing, and like,
metal
yeah,
canisters
but
for it
they
or
don't
whatever.
do
Yeah,
that. I don't think they do that for this, but for some reason, whatever version of the syrup they get at Cinemark and they get at Chipotle, it tastes exactly the same, and like that's my go-to when I go to those places. But Pepsi
yeah.
Zero Sugar is a game changer. The cans are like literally the first time I had it, I was like, "Is this?" I had to do a double take. I was like, "Bro, that literally tastes like syrup." Like the only thing that it didn't have, obviously, is that corn syrup coating that you get on your teeth, you
Yeah,
know. But it tastes like it. It's nuts.
yeah.
Um. Anyways, uh, I've got lots of updates. So we officially have a composer attached to Always Ready, my first feature film. And it was funny because his name is Zane Alexander, and if you go on IMDb, there's like 10 of them. There's so many Zane
Oh,
Alexanders, but none of them have profile pictures. So I'm like, I don't know if this guy's done anything before, this and that. He is a, I guess he describes himself as a post-wave synthwave artist. So it's a very niche kind of synthwave, but I listened to a lot of his music while I was writing the script. And so the fact that we have him as the composer is just like mind blowing to me. It's like if I listened to any, artist and was like, "Oh man, I love this music so much," but the odds of them composing it or whatever. I actually got the guy who made the music that I want to use, and so it's like now we're going to use that music and he's going to also make some original music, and I think it's going to it just adds another level of like uniqueness to the film. And I shared some of his music in the Discord, and everybody was like, "Dude, this is good running music." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna be doing lots of running montages," and it's like perfect. I shared some with you last night. It's very unique sounding stuff. I I sent him an email and he thought it was somebody impersonating me, and so I reached out to him on Bandcamp, and then he was like, "Okay," and then like we got hopped in a call, and super nice guy. Lives in like North Carolina, which I lived there for like 6 months, so we had something to break the ice there. But he liked Pollo Loco. Said he watched it twice, so it was very cool to see that he like already liked something I made. And yeah, we're we're gonna be using his style of music for the film, and it's gonna be great, man. Also, we are in budget talks. I can't say a number yet because it would be really stupid to give a number and then for it to like,
$1 million.
get delayed or not work out. But no, definitely not $1 million, but definitely more than I right now they're talking about more than I expected. So that's a really humbling thing to see. I did another pass on the script, working on dialogue, adding a couple little scenes and stuff, and it is 88 pages with the title page. So it's definitely going to be 90 to 100 minutes for sure. It's officially listed as inspired by true events on like everything because it is. I was talking to them like it's inspired by true events. And they're like, put that shit on there. That just helps, you know.
Yeah.
It gives it some validity. So makes it seem like it's real personal, you know. So because it is. So like it shows that it's personal. But still working on the shot list. Oil Loco passed 86,000 views as of this morning. We're getting close to 100K. Theo got a new fish for 80K, and it's the coolest fish ever. It actually has like a personality. I've got some really cool videos that I'll have to like share on social media at some point, but it like follows Theo's finger and he comes up to the glass and like swims happily and stuff. Total opposite of the last fish, and honestly, even cooler than Bluey. Theo said that he's like, I like this fish better than Bluey and Bingo, and I'm like, well, Bingo, you didn't really,
Bingo.
bro, died in like 72 hours. Um, we were supposed to go to Hooters for 90K. Theo's gonna get a cheeseburger. I'm gonna get some wings. And then for 100K, I am planning on releasing the screenplay. Like, I'm just gonna like have it. I'm gonna list it on like a screenplay website, and then people will be able to go read it and like download it if they want to. So it's some of my first writing. So I'm like, oh man, when I go back and look, how bad is it gonna be?
What, do you guys have a
You know?
blooper reel?
No, we it was it's because it's such a serious tone. There wasn't very many bloopers. Not only that, like I think we were very like precise when we recorded and stuff. There's definitely going to be bloopers for this feature because there's so much that we're going to shoot. But no, I think there was so much at stake that everybody was kind of like
On their A
taking
game?
it seriously. Yeah, but like joking around behind the scenes. We're still looking into getting the audio only versions of the podcast onto Spotify and Apple. I've been busy with meetings and stuff, so I haven't had a chance to do it. But I talked to Chris and we were talking about a strategy for that, so it's coming. But under our main topic, Congress has been popping off with these UFO hearings this past week. I think they started on the 13th, and I saw one happening yesterday. So they're still revealing stuff. They're saying that they have made contact with non-human entities, non-human biological entities, which is a weird way to list it.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah,
Like they're saying they've. What the heck is happening, dude?
everybody's saying Project Bluebeam, which is real
Well,
conspiracy-like, but
yeah, and okay. I mean, we're gonna get into conspiracy corner here, but like, that's the thing, dude. I I really do think that there's something to it because it seems like every time that there is crazy stuff going on in the world, they do some stuff like this. Right now, the big thing is the stuff that's happening with Russia and Ukraine. So,
so I mean, they've been saying it for a long time, but a lot of people said that this, like, what they just did, what Russia just did, could have marked, like, when they go back and look in the history books, if this turns into World War III, they're gonna be like, that's when it started.
yeah,
So, it's scary, man.
yeah, because I get it. Like, you don't want to cause like mass panic because you're like, oh my God, the world's gonna end, and the stock market crashes and stuff like that, and people start, you know, shooting each other and stuff. But um, the UFO stuff is crazy because like the pictures that I was seeing,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
it's
I
like
was so
they're in the ocean, man. They're in
we
the
called
ocean.
the topic. Yeah, the topic is UFOs in the ocean. The Navy released a bunch of photos of these things, and like all the pictures are so similar, man. I mean, there's a couple where it's like really weird shaped aircraft, where they're
Yeah,
like triangle shaped, but most of them are that like
the pill.
stereotypical pill cigar shaped saucer, and they all look like they're either coming out of the water or diving in. And I mean, it is
And
straight out of a science fiction movie. It's crazy.
that's the thing. The ocean part is what freaks me out because I don't I swear I'd seen it in like at least two different like like videos from it was it David Fravor? Is that what his name was?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah.
The pilot, right?
Yeah. So I think one of the videos that I had seen that was from him, it was like it was in the sky and then it like changed altitude like really fast and they were like what the heck happened and then it goes straight into the water, right? And so
Yeah.
it's like the fact that that's continuing, it's like, oh, like there's a pattern here and it's like a really weird one, like one that it makes
Yeah.
sense
Well,
if you think about it, but it's like it's like the
I
exact
had
opposite
mentioned
of what
to
we would
you.
expect.
I had mentioned to you that there's people on TikTok who are saying their theory is that aliens are here and they're in the ocean because we don't we don't go in the ocean. You know, like a very small amount of people dive and stuff like that. But I mean, besides like submarines and shit, we don't know what's down there, and 70% of the Earth or something like that is water. So it's like they could be coexisting here with us, living in the ocean, and we wouldn't even know it because we don't go that far out in the ocean. Like, dude, when I was on the Coast Guard and we would go on missions out there would be nobody for hundreds of miles, man. Like, it's just there's nobody out there, and we weren't even that far out. Like, you can go even farther. You know what I mean? Like, it is crazy how much of the Earth is just unpopulated. But obviously, it's because you can't live out in the ocean. We're just, I mean, you look at like movies from the 90s and stuff, and they have like underwater bases and stuff,
Or like Bioshock.
which is probably true. We probably have some underwater stuff like that, but not much. And we definitely ain't covering that much ocean,
Yeah.
you know? Like, and the ocean is so deep in spots where it's like we can't even get radar in that bitch, you know? So it's like, dude, I mean, who knows, man? All I know is that like you said, it's really weird. It seems like whenever something like this happens, it's just like a massive wave of all this stuff, almost like a distraction. Like a lot of people are saying Project Bluebeam, which if people listening to this don't know what that is, it's this conspiracy theory that's been around for a. I remember hearing Project Bluebeam when I was in like middle school, man. Like it has been a thing for a long time. People are saying that the CIA had documents that were like either declassified or something like that, and they talked about this thing called Project Bluebeam, and people did a deep dive, and basically it's this idea that the the government would fake a UFO invasion, and like they could use our own drones or whatever, and basically it's like you just see on the news like holy shit, we're like shooting aircraft out of the sky, stuff like that, and the whole world is going to freak out, and so they'll basically be able to use that to like pass laws or declare martial law or
I think like that's where
people
like
go as far as like a one world government,
Yeah.
but that seems like a stretch to me, man. I just
I
don't see
I
that.
actually
Unless
I
it was
think
like UN who led it or
yeah,
something.
if it was like the UN or something like that, because if you think about it, right? I think God, was it with JFK or Ronald Reagan? Whenever I think Gorbachev was so that was Reagan. What I think they were quoted as like if there was ever an alien attack on the Earth, that the U.S. and the USSR would like join forces to fight against it. And I was like, whoa, like, and that was like a serious thing. It was like, they were gonna put their differences aside and like protect humanity.
I mean,
I was
people
like,
say all the
wow.
time that 9/11 was like the last time that the whole nation felt unified, you know? When
Yeah.
something like that happens, everybody puts their differences aside and bands together. And so they're saying like this would be like a new world order strategy to get the whole world to basically unite, you
I,
know,
I
and then they can control everyone under one government. But
I also hate
it
that
seems
term.
like such a stretch. What I hate is that people talk about like, oh, new world order, all this stuff like that. It's like, bro, people care way too much about themselves and money and all that stuff to get together like that and pull something off on that scale. I just don't see it
Well,
ever
also,
happening. But
New World Order does not mean like, oh man, like they're taking over the world. New World Order is like it's order as in like order versus chaos kind of a thing. Like
yeah, one
that's
like unified government that
no no no
controls
no
everything.
no no no. But people think that's what it means. Order is it's like not necessarily
No, I
like
mean
peace.
when JFK mentioned New World Order in one of his speeches and said one unified government, which is like a danger because of communism and all that stuff. You know, like what if it's a communist government? Um, it's I don't know. I mean, that gets into Illuminati stuff. You know?
Oh, dude, have I told you that like on my way to work, I see freaking Freemason stickers on people's bumpers and stuff? It's weird, man. I don't know why it's so common here. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I will see like the Freemason like the compass thing a lot.
Mm.
Like and it's like it's
Yeah, they picked such a baller name, the Freemasons. That's
well,
like such a
but it's been around for I think since like the formation of the United States, I think. Like it's been around for a long
It
time.
sounds like some Skyrim shit, like Freemasons.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's a cool name, and the logo is very like when you see it, you're like, oh, I know what that is. But I'm like,
It seems like
how?
there's
Like,
yeah,
why?
it
How are
seems
they
like there's
joining
evil
that?
intentions or something. But I
Yeah,
mean, because the Freemasons that's a real thing.
yeah,
The
yeah. And
Freemasons are real.
it's not necessarily like they're the Illuminati or anything. It's which also
Yeah.
the Illuminati. I haven't heard that term very much lately, but I think everyone's just kind of like, oh, it's not real. But like,
Well, I hear the term what's it called? I can't remember what they call it. It's like it's not embarrassment ritual.
humiliation.
Um, humiliation ritual. Yeah, I hear that a lot. Like anytime something embarrassing happens to a celebrity and it's all over the news, they're like, "Oh, that was their
Oh, like
humiliation
the
ritual
Taylor Swift
for the
Kanye
Illuminati."
thing.
Hmm.
I'm gonna let you finish, but that yeah, man. I don't know, man. Either way, part of me really wants to believe the UFO stuff, but also like,
Those pictures are some of the craziest
dude,
shit I've ever
it's
seen.
and the thing is, it's not like the same quality in every picture. So
No,
it's
there's
like,
like black and white through a like a periscope.
yeah,
There's clear as day. There's like older, grainier looking. But like I said, they some of them are so similar where I'm like, dude, like
well, there's the
it's
one.
almost like but it's almost like if they I think if they were doctoring photos and it was like, okay, these need to be similar. Like I don't think it would be hard to make them not exact, and they're not
Yeah.
exact, but it obviously looks like the same kind of aircraft, just
So
different angles and
the only
stuff.
one that was weird is there's one where it's like a giant triangle looking thing in the sky, and you're like, this looks like something out of Star Wars, and I'm like,
It looks like
yeah,
that damn thing that comes in and then drops the thing with the droids in like the first one,
it's
like a Phantom Menace.
it's I don't know, man, because you know what it like.
Looks like
Like
a bomber.
yeah, it's very strange to me. It's like the designs that we have for aircraft now, like a lot of them are going for that triangle shape. Like they're trying to get further and further
Well, it's
away from.
aerodynamic, right?
Yes, but like there's a certain. It's like the sharp triangle shape. Like if you look at like a an F-16 or something like that stuff is not quite like
Well,
just a triangle. This is like
yeah.
literally just a straight up triangle that they're getting at this point, right? And if you look at like more modern aircraft, like the really like the cutting edge stuff, right? They're getting closer to that, and with this stuff, it's like they're doing the same thing. Whoever's making it, it's like they're using the same techniques that we are, but it's like they're probably better at it, right? So it's
Yeah.
just weird seeing like there's similarities, but it's like, okay, are we taking inspiration from that? Or is it just that's the point that you get to when you get so far ahead in technology? Like
Well,
what is the cause of that?
when they talk about like, oh, is it our aircraft or is it another country's aircraft? Are they like drones of some sort that we have that's just not declassified because that's how it is, you know? Like you don't like they don't acknowledge like military technology and stuff like that exists until like 20 years later when it's obsolete.
I think it's usually
Because
like
I mean, you
almost like 60.
look at the stealth. No, the stealth bomber. I remember that the people were freaking out in the 90s because they were like, "What the hell is that?" And then like early 2000s, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's our stealth bomber."
I don't think oh well, it's a, I thought that was made in the 60s though, so it's like at least 40 years, right?
No, 60s is. I mean, we're still talking about the SR-71 and stuff. That was like cutting edge.
Yeah, the SR-71 looks sick, by the way.
That is it's, to this day, people still acknowledge the SR-71 as like the coolest military aircraft ever
Well, have
made.
you seen the SR-72?
That's a thing.
The it's the freaking Dark Star from Top Gun 2. It's like real.
Wait,
Like
you watched Top Gun 2?
no, but I know about the freaking Dark Star. But I saw the whole
I
thing.
did not know that. That's
The SR-72 is real. They were
freaking even
acknowledging
cool
it.
looking.
Um, so Lockheed Martin actually like got rid of all the stuff on their web pages about it. So they used to be very proud of it, but after all the tensions got weird between us and China, they started removing all of it because they didn't want China copying all of it. But it's I think it's like a hyper or they're trying to do like a
Oh,
hypersonic
sick.
drone. that can.
How fast is Mach? 4,100 miles per hour? You're
I
telling me it could fly from one end of the country to the other in an hour?
I believe so. It's hypersonic.
Less than an hour. I think it's like 35 or 3,800 miles from one coast to the
The
other.
thing is, I'm pretty sure it's a drone.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's a drone, so that's why they're able to go that fast. But
that's true because that doesn't make any sense, right? Like, I mean, how many G's are we talking?
I don't know.
But
I
they're
don't know.
saying that makes it twice as fast as the SR-71 Black Hawk.
So,
That's
and I will
nuts.
say, they have not said
Nuts.
whether or not it's in production, right? The thing that I'd seen was that Lockheed acknowledged that they do low volume production, which
Well,
basically means they have stuff that they don't make a lot of, right? So it could be stuff that's like prototypes, or better yet, like they have like maybe three SR-72s that have been made and they're maintaining them or whatever, right? But like, dang, man, like that, if
well,
whoever's
like I
using that
said,
thing must be like so stoked.
I'm not gonna say where because I don't want to get my ass in trouble. But I saw those stealth Black Hawks that they say don't exist that they used during the Bin Laden raid. They are still using those things. Um, you know what I'm talking about? Or it looks almost like an origami Black Hawk because it's all like
No, well, they don't, I assume they don't have
type in
pictures.
stealth Black Hawk, and
Stealth Black
it's like
Hawk.
they're literally silent, dude. You just hear like a little thump 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 thump.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, holy crap!
yeah. I've seen two of them. I saw two of them flying next to each other on a base.
This is there's like literal like pictures though, like people
They
standing in
used
front of them and stuff
yeah,
like
they
that.
used these during the Bin Laden raid, and one of them crashed. I can't
See,
remember why.
so for the people who can't look it
I think
up
it
right
was like
now,
bad wind or something.
so think of like a helicopter. You know how it's got like some round edges and stuff like that. With this, it's like everything just sharp edge, sort of like how they
Yeah.
do stealth bombers, right? So, that's a cool looking helicopter though, dude.
Yeah, I think it's really cool too. I think it's a cool helicopter, but apparently they're super heavy. They can't fly as far, and it makes sense. Um, but I mean, they're supposed to be like immune to radar, and I mean, like I said, it was crazy. They have these special blade tips to make them super quiet.
Yeah, well, so you know the story with the like when they first were testing out like stealth technology as far as like being hidden from radar. So they put a model of, I don't know if it is it the Spirit, I don't know, whichever was like the first like stealth bomber, right? They had like a model of it up on like a, I don't know, not like a pedestal, but like they had it mounted somewhere, right? And they're pointing stuff at it to see if they can find it on radar, right? And they're like, we don't see this thing, and they finally got a hit, and they go, ah, man, like it's not immune to radar. And they look up and realize there's a bird on it, and that's what was getting the hit. So they were like, holy crap, this thing is invisible. Like
That's
you
crazy.
can't see it all. So this freaking bird was how they found out that yeah, it works. So the dude being on that team must have been so cool.
Yeah.
Like I would love to work on something like that and be in the development process of a technology that like is just, like I said, like the bleeding edge, you know? Like that's just, oh.
Well, moving on from UFO talk, you had 2.5 Russian Ukraine starting World War III. I don't know if you want to go into more detail about that. 'Cause
So
I did not end up looking it up last night. I've
um
only seen headlines.
that's the thing. So I haven't heard much about it since, but the big headline was that Russia used ICBMs in Dnipro in Ukraine, and
So did they have a payload, or was it just a show of like what they can do? Like it was like a
I
flex, like, hey, we can do this, and you guys are fucked.
I believe they had a payload, but it wasn't a nuclear payload. But the main thing that Russia was saying was like, hey, the West can't stop these. Like they go too fast for them to do anything about them because we didn't take them out, right? But also like we aren't over there. Like we aren't literally setting up defense systems like right there to take care of ICBMs because we weren't expecting to deal with that.
Called an IRBM.
Was an IRBM, interregional, intermediate range. Well, this is,
Russia warned the U.S. 30 minutes before the launch that its new Oreshnik missile against targets in
let me
Poland.
see. Because if you look at Russia uses
Ukraine's
ICBM,
military was 95% sure the strike on Thursday was with an ICBM.
So here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing two things. I'm seeing ICBM and I'm also seeing hypersonic IRBM. Both are
Either way,
scary.
I
Um,
would like to emphasize once again that it was not Russia but the United States that destroyed the international security system by continuing to fight, cling to their
that's just like
global
propaganda.
conflict.
Um,
Well, they're talking about like within hours just announcing it had struck down 5 of the student
Either
doctrine.
way, the thing that's scary about it,
10 of those missiles. They shot 10 of them.
the thing that's scary about it is it's there. It was basically them saying, "Hey, it's like there was a thing that snipers used to do, where they would be seeing somebody, right? And then they wouldn't fire at another sniper, right? And what they would do is they would put a bullet where they were hiding at, and then they would leave. And so when the snipers would get to that next point, they would see the bullet and they would go, "Oh crap, that person
They
could have
could have
shot me and
shot
they
me.
didn't."
Yeah.
So it's the same thing where it's like, "Hey, we could have nuked you guys, like, and you wouldn't have been able to do anything about it, but we didn't."
Except they actually bombed a place.
Yeah, but nuking is a lot different from bombing.
Yes, but people are still killed. It's not the same thing. But
It's definitely not the same thing because like
especially if they shot 10 of them, it sounds more like they were. It was almost like a test, also flexing and like warning. You know.
I'm sure there's a lot of different motivations behind it, but overall, I
Anyways,
mean, I
it's escalating and
yeah,
it's no bueno. So
yeah, but
we'll see what happens with that.
I I don't know what'll happen next. I don't know if they'll keep using them or if it's just like I mean, it's possible that's the only 10 that Russia had and they're bluffing. That'd be funny.
Who knows?
But
Anyways, on to our quick ad break. Support us with Patreon. We got like 30 members in there strong. It's great. We just played. There was like 7 of us. We were playing 10v10
yeah.
Mosh Pit
Well,
Call
I,
of
th
Duty
I
this
think
morning, which is a terrible game mode, by the way.
and you guys were still playing it after I left or what?
No, we moved to like regular hardcore
Yeah, because
domination and stuff.
I couldn't the
It was
10v10
hard to
was
get
rough.
kills.
We actually had like
Um,
8, but it was like people were leaving and then joining and stuff like that. But we
yeah,
had a
it was
pretty
popping.
decent sized party in there. Yeah.
It was popping. There's all kinds of benefits. I'm gonna be doing a special giveaway for Thanksgiving next week. Join if you want a chance at winning something. Use G Fuel code Danny D. By the way, they just dropped a new Hidden Blade flavor inspired by Assassin's Creed. Haven't tried it yet, but it's supposed to taste like sangria, so I'm excited
What
about
is
that.
sangria?
It's like a mixed drink with wine.
Mm.
So, it's good. I'm curious to see if it tastes anything like it. I mean, obviously it's not gonna taste like alcohol, but what else was I gonna say? Oh, they just announced the Poppy's Playtime flavor. That's cool. It's something raspberry. Let me look it up.
It's
They've been
raspberry
doing a.
iced tea.
I've noticed that G Fuel will do a lot of similar flavors. So like everything's like raspberry right now. The Assassin's Creed Collector's Box is almost gone, by the way.
Oh,
If you wanted to get that. So they announced a peach raspberry flavor. They got strawberry matcha still coming. That's still up for pre-order. They brought back White Elephant. And let me see here. Coming soon. Poppy's Playtime is Raspberry Apple. That sounds good.
oh wow.
So we got Raspberry Apple, Peach Raspberry, Strawberry Matcha, and Sangria. Those are the new flavors. Poppy's Playtime looks like it drops on the 24th.
Huh.
Ships
That's
February, so
that's
pre-orders go up on the 24th.
so yeah.
Gotcha.
So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, it'll be going up for pre-order or the today.
Yeah.
If you're on
It'll already
Patreon,
be up.
it's tomorrow. But cool.
Use code Danny D for 20 to 30% off. 30% off those pre-orders.
Is Nemesis T still up?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, shout out to Nemesis T. That is like 100%. Like if you're like I want something that is like
Solid
kind
flavor, yeah.
of kind of mild, yeah, like dude, just get that. It's so freaking good. It's oh my god, dude. I love Nemesis T.
Also, use code Danny D for 10% off Fit Butters. They got a new sorry, the dog's barking. They got a new Why is the dog barking?
I can't
Choc
hear it, so you're good.
It's really loud for me. Chocolate dirt cake. Fit Butters is dropping for Black Friday. So Danny D for 10% off. I love Fit Butters. I've been mixing it into my Ninja Creamy um when I make
Oh,
protein ice cream. So now it's like a nutty protein ice cream. It's really good. And also, whatever's mixed into it makes it taste like that too. The Ninja Creamy is awesome, by the way. Definitely worth the investment. That thing is 250, like brand new, and we got it for 180 at Costco. So hell yeah, Black
dude.
Friday deal.
Oh
Um, it can
man.
make slushies. It can make sorbet,
So with the
yogurt,
with the ice cream, can it do like what is the consistency like?
like ice cream.
But is it like soft serve or is it like ice cream?
It's like you went to Baskin Robbins and got scoops of ice cream.
Oh, I want some soft serve, bro. Soft serve is like
Oh well,
ah.
soft serve is chemicals.
Okay, well, I'm the same guy that likes the cheese out of the Jack Link's like beef and cheese sticks. So
Yeah, but I'm just saying like soft serve like that. I mean, you got to buy like a special machine for that, like a soft serve ice cream machine. And
there's
then
no
like
way
you got to
it's
put
all chemically. You really do you think
it's
so?
it's a mixture that they put in and then they add the milk and all that stuff and the machine like it's the same process of making a milkshake except that it's a different machine.
God, I feel scammed.
So it's I mean, it's good. I mean, it's good. I get what you mean, but anyways, speaking of Fit Butters, I tried the carrot cake flavor and it was delicious, dude.
Well, have you ever had actual
It
carrot
act-
cake?
yeah, and I'm not really a fan of it, but this was like it tasted like cake. It didn't taste like carrot or anything like that, like super strong. Like it tasted like a really good cake, and there's glazed walnuts in there too.
Ooh.
So it's I think it's like it's up there with banana maple French toast for me. Like it is a deluxe flavor. So I
Man.
recommend banana maple French toast, carrot cake, brookie. The fruity pebbles flavors are both great.
Well, I
Can't go
know
wrong.
I know what I want for Christmas then. Give me some carrot cake, Fit Butters, and some Nemesis TG fuel, and we're good.
That sign was was your birthday Christmas present.
No, man. No. I, I want Nemesis tea and carrot cake.
Um, under our Patreon questions. Sorry, I got
He's-
carrot cake is so good.
Lost in the carrot
Yeah,
cake.
join the Patreon if you want access to these benefits. One of them is you can ask a question and we'll answer it on the show. So, Tommy, so a lot of these are really quick ones too this week. Tommy says, "What's a movie quote that you find yourself saying all the time?" Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself.
So, the one that that isn't that. The one that I say a lot is the Gorlami. Gorlami. That's a classic. That's
Yeah.
from Inglorious Bastards. Please go watch that movie. It's great.
That's like one of my least favorite Tarantino movies.
I what's the one that's about the car? That's the one that I don't like.
Death Proof?
I hate that movie.
Why do you hate it?
What was the point of it, dude? That movie literally went nowhere.
They're stunt people, right? It's ridiculous. It's over the top because it's supposed to be like a '70s grindhouse double feature, so it has that feel. But I love Kurt Russell in it. I think the first half is definitely better than the second half. There is so for people who don't know, Death Proof is one of Tarantino's movies. A lot of people say it's their least favorite. A lot of people have been shitting on Jackie Brown lately, and I think they're smoking something. That's
I
based
haven't
off a
seen
book.
Jackie
That is a
Brown.
good movie. That's a good movie. It's got a next to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I would say it has the most hangout vibe. Um, anyways, Death Proof. Kurt Russell plays a serial killer who is a stunt driver, and so the way that he kills people is he has his muscle car that is basically made to withstand like crazy car accidents for the stunts, and what he's doing is crashing into people at high speeds and killing them. That's his serial killer method. So he'll just go to the hospital, heal, get out, and do it again. And So there is like some really crazy car accidents in it, and it's pretty over the top for a Tarantino movie, and that's saying a lot. But it's because he was, I mean, literally the other movie is called or Planet Terror, and the lady has like a machine gun leg, so it's matching that vibe.
Yeah, but okay. The concept is not bad. I think the execution just sucks
I
because
think the dialogue's great. I
no, the
think
dialogue's not
the
not
action's
bad,
great.
but it's just
It just
like
gets really ridiculous towards the end because they're just like beating the shit out of him.
what.
But
Well, I mean, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it. But anyways, so um, my thing was it was just like that was it.
it's
That's really it.
entertaining.
I
I
feel
would
like
rather watch Death Proof again than Kill Bill Volume 2.
I
Kill Bill Volume 2 is like the complete opposite of the first one. It's super slow.
I haven't seen Kill Bill.
The first one's really good.
I don't know. I think
And he cheats by considering them one movie.
I still think Death Proof is like the worst one, for sure. The other ones that I've seen. Either way, Gorlami.
Well, because I've seen all of his movies now. Well, I never finished From Dusk Till Dawn because the
Why?
second half it turns into a vampire movie in the second half, and it's just like stupid.
Oh,
But the first half is like a crime kidnap movie. Like they're going to Mexico and kidnapping a family. It's crazy. Um, so like it just feels like two movies put together, and the first movie is like 10 times better than the second movie. Reservoir Dogs obviously is fantastic. Anyways, we got sidetracked. It's movie quotes. There's so many, man. We're
I
gonna
mean,
need a bigger boat.
yeah, but you say all the time, and
I
I'm
don't say a quote all the time. It's like whatever is like popular at the moment, or we're talking about a specific movie.
no, literally.
So
Anytime someone
I
says
don't
something
have.
about someone says something about Italians, I'll be like Gorlami, like every single time, dude.
Okay,
Because it's
Chris
just.
has one. I don't. Super Dude 01 says, "What's your favorite TV show theme song?" Season 1 of True Detective is my favorite.
um, honestly, probably the Malcolm in the Middle theme song.
That's a good one.
That's because that one like it's just a
Better
good
Call
song.
Saul's got a good theme.
Yeah, but it's kind of a meme.
Yeah, but I still like it.
Um,
It fits the vibe of the show so
I
well.
I can't stand the Walking Dead theme song.
I can see why.
Well, they don't really do theme songs for a lot of shows now, do they?
No, they do.
Does the
It's just everybody skips them because they have a skip intro button.
does
So
did the because the boys doesn't really have one, does it? They don't really have like an intro, do they?
no, The Boys doesn't have an intro. That's true. They don't have a theme song.
I think The Last of Us did, but it was
Hmm
yeah. I
It's
don't
like
know.
Game of Thrones almost.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with season 1 True Detective. Tyler asks, "Do either of you believe in ghosts/demons, etc.? And have you ever had an encounter with one, or a time you thought you did?" Um, I, I'm agnostic about ghosts and demons. Like, I think there's something, but I don't know if it's like ghosts, demons. I've had one experience that I can't two experiences at the same place that I can't explain. So, our grandma on our stepfather's side used to own a house that was like super old wooden house, um, that's like next to the old train track in our hometown, and so people would stay at this place. It was like a lodge almost, or it was a place the workers would stay, and so they say a lot of people died working on the railroad right there and stuff like that, and so it's haunted. And I didn't believe it. And then one day we were there for like Thanksgiving, and my cousin had a bathroom in his room. Our cousin lived with our grandma, and I remember everybody was in the living room, like everybody was in there, and we were like waiting for food to be ready. And I thought somebody was messing with me because the door handle kept rattling while I was like going to I was trying to take a piss and wash my hands, and then the door opened, and I was like, I thought I locked that door, and it opens and nobody's there, and I literally came out and was like, is someone like who opened the door? I was like, it had to be like Justin or somebody who like knows where like the key is or whatever. You know how like some doors you can use a little thing and open
Mm.
it? And everybody was like, nope, wasn't me. Second thing that happened there, I stayed the night and my cousin and I were just playing video games all night. Our cousin, playing video games all night, and the dog was in our room. It was a boxer, and super chill dog. And I want to say it's like 3 in the morning, and all of a sudden we hear these loud footsteps, like somebody's walking with heavy feet. And it's an old wooden house, so you hear the creaking, real creepy sounding. And we both pause the game we're playing, and we're like, and it stops at his door, and then the dog starts growling and looking at the ceiling. And we just sat there like frozen for like 30 seconds while it happened, and then the dog stopped, and we went back to play video games. But we were like too scared to talk about it. And the next morning, our grandma would always make like waffles, right? And so we're like all excited, go out there, and she goes, "Who set the table?" And I'm like, "What?" And the table was set for like 4 people. There's only 3 of us. And she said, "I came out this morning and the table was set."
She had to have been messing with you guys, dude. I swear to God. She had
Dude,
to have been messing with
we
you.
okay. We went back out to get snacks, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes after the foot stomping thing happened. And she was snoring in her room. Like, we checked. She was sound asleep. But that's the only explanation. She was messing with us, but she was also very superstitious. So I don't know if she would do that. And why would the dog growl at her?
Well, I mean, the same reason that you guys would be like freaked out because you're hearing loud noises.
The door was open, by the way.
That changes things. The door was
We hear the
open?
footsteps. Yeah, we hear the footsteps. Doors open. It sounds like they stop at the door. The dog starts growling and then starts looking at the ceiling and growling more. And then stops and like the dog gets down and starts like sniffing around, and we're just like, go back to video games.
Yeah, I don't know. I see. So I don't
We
really
were
believe.
too afraid to go out there for like I said, like 20, 30 minutes, and I'm like, he was like, should I see if like she's awake? And what are we doing? She was snoring.
I don't. I don't
He
really.
opened the door and I could hear her snoring.
I don't really believe in ghosts, but the only experience that I've had is, and I remember the explanation that I got for it was so strange, but there's no way this guy could have known. So, it was like middle school, I think 7th grade, and I remember I was drinking a lot of the it was like the G0 or whatever, which is like the zero sugar Gatorade. It was just like light blue color, right? And I was just drinking them like crazy, right?
G2?
Well, they I think so, but they changed the branding for it recently, I think. So I think it's G0 now or something.
Yeah, but back then it was
It was
probably
for G2
yeah.
back then. Anyway,
It's just
so
like a lower sugar version.
it
Anyways,
either way, it was this stuff. I was like addicted to
I
it,
hated
right?
that stuff.
I thought it was great. So I was drinking this all the time, and then I remember, um, like, just give you some context. So then I remember I was like laying in bed one night, and it was just like really freaking cold, right? And so, um, I'm kind of like under the blankets, just trying to stay warm, and then it started to feel like there was like a massive gust of wind in my bedroom, and I was like,
Wait,
"What?
where?
This is in my bedroom.
What
Like,
the hell?
no, like the window wasn't open or anything, right?" And it was like it went on for like 10 seconds. Like it was like really long, right? And then I kid you not, it was so weird. Like I thought I heard the freaking the balloon boy from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I swear I thought I heard like hello. I was like I was like what the? And so I'm like
I think I
just
remember you telling me this.
I was like literally just I just like froze. I was like I'm not moving. And then like finally after like 15 minutes, I finally like moved the blanket and look around. There's nothing going on, right? And like I said, the wind stopped after like 10 seconds, right? Just like the most random thing ever happened, right? And I'm like, this is odd, right? And I think I finally fell asleep at like 2 in the morning. Like it took me a while to go to sleep. And the next day, I told one of my friends at school, and he goes, "Have you been drinking a lot of Gatorade?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "That's what that is." And I was like, I don't understand how you knew that, but okay. Like it was just the fact that he knew that was what freaked me out because I'm like, I don't see how there's a correlation there, but he also like he made that connection immediately. And I wasn't drinking it at school; I was only drinking it at home because I would get like 3 bottles of it and just chug it throughout the day.
The
While I was at home.
Discord is like blowing up right now. I don't know why people are like sending gifts or something at each
I don't
other.
know. By the way, like that's my only experience, but I don't know if that was a ghost thing or if it was literally like something was up with
Okay,
G2.
this is my theory. I think that what do they say energy or matter is not created nor destroyed, right? So when people die, whatever energy that's in your body that's responsible for your soul or whatever you want to call it, it's got to go somewhere. There's also the theory that um, bad things can almost leave like an imprint, so like if there's a lot of trauma or there's like people murdered and stuff like that, those places just feel like there's bad energy there. So who knows, man? But
What would
I
you
just
do?
there's humans have been around for so long that I feel like if ghosts were a real thing, they'd be everywhere. It just doesn't make any
Yeah, but
sense.
so if you had to be a ghost and haunt a place, what would you do? What would your thing be?
I don't know.
I know what I would do. I would be in bathrooms and I would just like make a fart noise that echoes like super loud. So someone goes in there by themselves and they hear a fart and they're like, "What the?" Like, who's someone in here?
Hell no. Anyways, Tyler, I hope that answered your question. I think we're gonna call this episode "Ocean UFOs and Ghost Encounters" or something.
Yeah.
Pabu says favorite food of all time.
I think we've
Nachos.
I feel like we've answered this recently. The
I
lasagna
think
Frida
nachos.
from Olive Garden.
That's yours. I like
Yeah.
nachos. Like I just love nachos. Sometimes when I go to Chipotle, I make my own nachos. I love nachos so much. There's a place called Federico's here, which is like Filiberto's kinda.
Mm.
Except we have Filiberto's here, but Filiberto's here sucks. They have like the fries aren't as good. Like they use different fries and stuff. It's just not the same. But anyways, Federico's has super nachos. Oh my god. Like a 10-pound thing of nachos for like
So
10
I'm
bucks.
gonna open up a place. I'm gonna make super duper nachos.
Sushi nachos would be
Oh,
delicious.
wait. Oh, you're just thinking of a concept like sushi
Yeah.
nachos. That sounds
I mean, I've seen
disgusting.
poke nachos, but I don't know. So poke is like they have like all the ingredients of sushi, but then you like put it in a bowl almost like you're at Chipotle. And I every time I've had poke bowl, I feel like the fish is like kind of like flaky, like frozen. You know
I
what I mean? Like
I
it
think
just tastes old.
raw fish and like hot nacho cheese are not a great combo. That sounds disgusting.
Dude, I've had a sushi burrito before. It was delicious. Delicious.
I don't want to think about that. Anyways, what's the what's the next?
A lot of people are listening. It's like, damn, that sounds good.
You know
Um,
what? That's the thing I want in the comments. I want to know if you guys think that sushi nachos sounds good or not. Do you guys think it sounds good? Do you guys think it sounds gross? Please tell us why, because I think it sounds disgusting.
I think it sounds delicious. Pabu also asks, I'm a 17-year-old and I want to be an actor one day. Any tips to help me out? I just released a video, sponsored by Backstage, about how to be an actor. So go check that out. It's literally got all the information about how to start. There you go.
Yeah.
How to be an actor in 2024. Mr. Knight 777 says, if you could have one thing on the hall word, what will it be? I have no idea what that
I think
means.
they mean whole world, in the
If
whole
you could
world.
have one thing in the whole world, what will it be? For you to properly word a question.
Um,
Nikki asks,
hey,
"How are you
I didn't
guys?"
get to answer that, man. Dude, okay. So it's something that already exists, right? It has to be something that already exists. So I would,
Money to make a movie.
dude, I would say like a freaking, I'd love to have like a metal 3D printer.
Oh.
That'd be sick, man. No, but I'm like seriously, could you imagine stuff you could make with that, man? Oh,
Yeah, that'd be wild.
that's what I
Is
want.
that a thing? Is that even possible?
Yeah, they exist, man. But they use it to make like freaking rockets. There's a company that does
It's
that.
crazy.
Anyways, that's what I want.
Okay, yeah, money to make a movie. Nikki asks, "How are you guys feeling about COD after a month into playing the game, and how is ranked?" So I played one match of ranked last night, and my teammates were ass, but we lost like 3-1. Uh, in control, which is a fun game mode, but it's so frustrating. Um, so I don't have a whole lot to say about ranked yet. Like I don't even have a rank. I would like to at least hit gold so I can get the gold stuff that comes with it. But as far as how I feel about the game after a month, I'm addicted 100%. I find myself hopping into zombies and like saving and quitting and coming back later. Like I literally like play zombies to de-stress. It is I still stand by it. I think it's my favorite Call of Duty since Black Ops 2.
I'm loving it. It's actually like kind of frustrating how much I like the game, just because it's like now if I go and play a different game just for like 5 minutes, I'm like, dude, I'm like wasting my time because
Yeah,
like
why not just play Call of Duty?
yeah, like and it's like oh
I
the
have
bat
zero interest in any other game now.
I have the battle pass that I can be getting progress for, and I don't know.
It's not very buggy. Like I'm like surprisingly, my experience with it has been very smooth compared to other Call of Duty.
Yes, but there definitely are
They update
bugs.
stuff and it introduces bugs, but in terms of like launch day and how it was and everything like that, smoothest experience I've
Well,
ever
I
had
don't
with
know.
a
I
launch.
guess there was a Dark Ops challenge that like just recently got fixed, where it was like get every gun out of the box in one
There's always
match.
stuff like that, but yeah.
But
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that was a challenge.
yeah, I
I love it.
I
I
think it's
think it's
very
like an 8 out
stable.
of 10.
It's a
I
very
think it's like
stable
an 8
game.
out of 10 Call of Duty.
8.
Hmm.
I'd give it more like a 9, dude. Well, tell me what's wrong with it. Tell me what's wrong with the game.
What's wrong with the game?
Yeah,
I think the maps aren't that great.
that's fair.
Multiplayer, like that's definitely one of the weakest points. I still haven't finished the campaign, so I think the campaign is solid, but it's still not as good as the old days. Um, I think zombies is the best thing about it. I think zombies is what brings it up to an 8 for me. Like it would otherwise be like a 6, but zombies brings it up.
I think the maps that suck on that game are the big maps. I think the small maps are really where that game shines. Like Stakeout, dude, that map is
It's basically
so
shipment.
yeah, but it's shipment with like I guess more
It's an
chaos.
interesting, yeah, it's an interesting layout. I will say that. You know, you got the balconies, the hallway, you got the kitchen
There's
areas,
like that little
holes in
vent.
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that one courtyard area that you can just jump across. Have you
Yeah.
seen that?
Yeah, and then there's
Uh,
like those balconies that people will camp on.
that's
So,
the most. I hate spawning on the balcony and getting shot immediately.
yeah, but I
Um,
think that the like face-off maps are like probably the I haven't gotten Babylon in like a decade, bro. It's that
yeah,
they
I feel
removed
like
that
the
map.
purpose. They didn't remove it, but I feel like they're purposely like it's not as likely to land on, which is
Because
annoying. I do. If they had a Babylon 24/7, I'd play it all the time.
yeah, I love
I would
Babylon.
take that over Nuketown, honestly.
Yes, yes, 100%. Yes.
I love Nuketown, but Babylon is, I mean, it's just the way it's laid out. Like, you get so many kills. It's like the perfect size.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Two quick asks for our last question. Favorite movie soundtrack? I feel like we answered this recently. Mine's Drive.
We did answer this recently, I think, and I forgot my
Yeah.
answer. Um,
I'm gonna stick with Drive.
I want to say, well, okay, so if we're talking about original soundtrack, it's
To
gotta be
me, soundtrack is like, it's got licensed songs. At least that's how
Licensed
it's
songs.
in the filmmaking world. A soundtrack is licensed music that's paid for to use in the film, and a score is music that's composed specifically for that film.
Well, because you have like a
So
video.
when I see favorite movie soundtrack, I'm thinking, oh, okay, so like Deadpool and Wolverine's got
Yeah,
like,
because Deadpool Wolverine was, I think it might have been my answer. It might have been. Um, but so I didn't even think about it. Freaking Guardians of the Galaxy.
fair one.
That's yeah. I was like, oh, like that was kind of the thing. Like they actually have playlists on Spotify just because of how good the song choice was in that.
Yep.
So that might actually, if I'm gonna change my answer from what it was before, then that's probably it. Like from like every single time the Guardians of the Galaxy have appeared in the MCU, because they also have like they're like deleted scenes from Endgame or Infinity War or whatever that that actually had songs that I was like, oh, this is good. So
Mm.
um that's my answer.
I had it as our next topic, weekly Black Ops 6 talk,
But we
but I
just
feel like
kind
we
of had
talked
that.
about it a
Yeah.
lot. I just prestiged for the second time. I'm already like level 14, so
I'm
flying through
gonna
it.
I'm gonna hit Prestige 5 probably tomorrow,
Zombies is my biggest stress relief. Again, it's just
which is
I hop on
crazy
Liberty
to me,
Falls,
dude.
and I
We,
think at this point I'm approaching more hours in zombies than multiplayer.
I think I have more hours in zombies
You
than multiplayer.
definitely do. You definitely do.
I think because I don't know if I've gotten around. I think I've gotten to the 50s before. I haven't gotten to 100 yet. It's hard, dude. That's the thing. When you get past round 30, the game gets difficult, like
Yeah,
very
it's
fast.
crazy. Well, I heard that at level 55 the zombie health caps. So if like the new drill that just came out, I saw a video where this guy was like, "Okay, we're on level 55. This drill is pack a punch 3 times. So if it one shots the zombies still, that means that it's a one shot just in general." And sure enough, so they're saying that the best melee now is that drill that I haven't unlocked yet, but I'm close to. I'm like halfway there.
Hmm.
They have that hit list event, dude. I will say the amount of content they're dropping so far is I'm very happy with it. I feel like there's always something new
Well,
coming out.
yeah, and the fact that there's a new map coming out for zombies on the 5th, I was like, I didn't
Less
expect
than
anything.
2 weeks,
I didn't
and
expect
like
anything till the end of December.
I really hope it lives up to. It seems like it's some kind of like Spanish castle looking thing.
I don't think it's
The the
Spanish.
the the uh the name of the map is Spanish from what I saw.
Is it? Citadel de More. That could be French.
French maybe? French castle? That's
Uh,
true. That probably is French
it's
actually.
French. Yeah, Citadel of the Dead. Is what
Okay,
it's called. Oh, it's an of the Dead map. That's interesting. Huh.
cool. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that new map. I definitely like Liberty Falls more than Terminus, but that's just because Terminus is it's so much easier to get stuck somewhere. Like get
Yeah,
cornered.
it's what's strange is Terminus almost to me feels like a solo map. It's
Really.
really easy to play that
I
map
might have to hop
solo.
on there and play. I just feel like Liberty Falls, I know exactly what to do like every time. Like I'm getting to round 30 no problem every time. But yeah, no, Zombies is definitely I think the best it's been in a long time. I love it. And that that's a lot coming from me because
Yeah.
after Black Ops 2, I just wasn't into it anymore. I
D
really do. I think they would be dropping the ball if they didn't do some kind of Zombies Chronicles thing at the end here. It seems like a missed opportunity. 'Cause
dude,
the way the mechanics of everything is perfect.
more
I
than
love it.
more than anything, I just think they need to have this game last for 2 years.
Yeah, but Activision is
I
not
know they don't want to do
doing
that,
that
but
yet.
like
I do think it could. This would be the one that could do it.
literally, I will pay another $70. I don't care. I will for a continuation of, as long as it's on the same. I just don't want to have to go to a different game.
I'll
If
pay
it,
$40 for more, like some more campaign missions, zombies maps, multiplayer maps, whatever. Like,
I just don't want to have to download a whole new freaking game, and then
yeah,
have to
I'm
get
sick of the yearly cycle. I will say, I'm
yeah,
tired of it. I think it's Call of Duty's biggest weakness. Is
freaking
every game has a short lifespan, so they're either like, oh, we make this really good and it doesn't matter because next year another one comes out and that's what people go to, or well, this is a shit show, so let's just get this out of here and we just got to make it last until the next one comes out. So it's just like this weird up and down thing. We get a good one, we get a bad one, we get a worse one, we get a good one, we get a bad one.
Because it's been on a streak of doo doo since
Last
like
good one was 2019, Modern Warfare 2019. I think since then,
and even then that one
yeah.
Modern
Even
Warfare
like I said, I think this is the best one since Black Ops 2. That is, when did Black Ops 2 come out?
2012.
Yeah, so we're talking over 10 years ago to find another good Call of Duty, in my opinion.
Yeah, because the thing is 2019 just if you look at what that game was, like
One of the best campaigns since the OGs.
Its tertiary mode was Warzone. There was no like zombies or extinction.
Warzone. I don't think I got into Blackout as much as other people, but I think Blackout and then like first year of Warzone, like nothing since then is compared Battle Royale wise.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that's enough Black Ops 6 talk. If anybody is still like on the fence, like, oh, is this game worth $70? Yes. For the first time in a long time, I could say a Call of Duty is worth $70 for sure. Last big topic. Christopher Nolan's next film has been building its cast over the last couple weeks. So far we got Tom Holland, Matt Damon, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson just joined.
Oh wow.
At first the rumor was it was some kind of vampire movie, and I was like, that sounds like bullshit. Why would Christopher Nolan makes grounded films? We're gonna make a vampire movie? There's no way. And then they came out and changed it. And now it has to do something with helicopter pilots. So I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds cool to me. Yeah, I said one of the things with Oppenheimer, because a lot of people say that Tenet was him like seeing how far he could push things in terms of like, I'm not going to hold your hand and you are not going to know what the hell is going on unless you really think about it and like research it. And then he went with Oppenheimer and was like, okay, now I'm going to make a 3-hour historical drama and it's going to be blockbuster worthy with only like what was it, $100 million, which is not crazy for a blockbuster.
Only.
Well, dude, I mean, Red One was 250 million, and that bombed.
Yeah.
There's so many movies that they're coming out with that are 150 to 250 million dollars, and they're bombing. So for him to make Oppenheimer for 100 million, and then it makes almost as much as Barbie, that's crazy. And so everybody's like, what does he do? Where does he go from there? You know what I mean? Does he go for? I mean, the theory is he does one for the studios, one for him, and so like Tenet was for him, Oppenheimer was for the studios. Now he's doing another one for him, where it's like it's more focused on like what he wants, like the kind of stuff he likes. Whereas Oppenheimer was, I mean, that movie is a very serious drama. Like if you're not like prepared for it, you're gonna be like, oh man, this is intense. I have Oppenheimer on 4K. I need to watch it again, but yeah, I'm really curious to see Matt Damon as a lead in a Christopher Nolan film. I think that's gonna be fantastic. I love Matt Damon. And Tom Holland finally Tom Holland gets a good role outside of fucking Spider-Man, because he's made some stinkers. That's I won't say stinkers, just stuff that nobody watched.
I thought that he wasn't a good pick for Uncharted.
I don't blame him for that. I would have taken that if I was an actor and they're like,
yes,
hey, you want to...
But I'm just saying, I don't think he was a good pick. That's how I feel about that.
I thought it was fine. I think he's a great actor. I think he just... And he definitely dedicates to, like, doing the research and stuff. Like, he went and bartended at, like, a random bar somewhere.
He just looks too young for the role is my problem.
Mark Wahlberg's too young for the Sully character, too. It was just all around. Dude, it's Sony. What do you expect? Sony is... I don't know what it is with Sony. It's like they're smoking crack over there while they figure out how to do these movies. All of the Sony Spider-Verse movies are half-assed, like, just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. It was a miracle to me that Venom 3 had any emotional weight to it whatsoever. And that I think that was really because the director tried. but Morbius is ridiculous. Dude,
Morbius, yeah.
Morbius feels like 10 people were in the editing room arguing, and that's what we got. Madam Web,
I
I
forgot that even
I
came out, dude.
Madam Web is like they literally were like, it's bring your kid to work day, and the kids did the work while the adults like drank coffee and smoked or something like crack. And like,
Get it to crack.
it is Madam Web is one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time. Like, it's not even so bad it's good. It's just it's like what the hell? Like, who thought this was a good idea to spend money on?
That's such a shame, dude. Because
It is because they have they literally own Spider-Man, one of the most popular properties,
and they don't do
ever.
anything with it. They just
And
do a
all
bunch
they
of
can
garbage.
do is what I don't know what it is about Sony and like the quality of the storytelling. They have the money to get some real writers together and say, okay, we trust you to write a script, and we have the budget. We need a home run, and instead we get the Venom movies, Morbius. I mean, Craven the Hunter does not. I mean, Craven the Hunter seems cool because it's rated R, but otherwise, it looks like more of the same to me.
Venom is
Very cheesy looking.
not bad. I don't dislike the Venom movies.
Tom Hardy carries. I didn't know that it was Tom Hardy doing the voice of Venom too. That's actually really cool.
I think what was it? The second one that was kind of or I don't remember, but
So the second one is like crazy. It's like breakneck speed the whole time. Like the pacing is crazy, and like Woody Harrelson is just playing like a crazy person. It's not even like it's just Woody Harrelson, but he's crazy. Like there's no real character. Andy Serkis directed that, and I think that's why that movie's not a complete mess. Because I heard he got brought in like last minute to do that, but I thought the third one was my favorite. Honestly, I think it had my favorite action moments, my favorite emotional moments. It just seems like from Venom 1 to Venom 3 is supposed to be a year time span in those movies. They feel like completely different movies. They almost feel like they're not even associated with each other. Besides the fact that Tom Hardy and Venom are, bantering. Like the first Venom movie is cliche freaking superhero movie. But anyways, I'm not sure. Oh, we're somehow we got from there from talking about Christopher Nolan. Anyways, Christopher Nolan is probably my favorite director. I think today. He's influenced my filmmaking a lot, especially since writer directors are who I look up to the most because I'm like, okay, that's like as a writer director, not only do you have full control over the vision, but like you have the ability to write stuff knowing that okay, I'm directing it, so I know how I'm gonna do that, And so watching them do that and execute it the way they want is, the best way for me to learn about how to do the craft that I'm doing. So, Denis Villeneuve, I don't think writes his own stuff, so I think he does, but I don't know if he has written everything he's done. I would have to look it up, but he's another inspiration. Trying to think. I mean, Spielberg, I think, has influenced everyone at this point. Like Jordan Peele is like beat for beat, like making Spielberg-esque stuff. Like Nope was literally Jaws with like
also Nope
aliens.
was so good.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that people are like they either love Nope or they hate it. That is a love-hate movie, apparently. I thought it was so much better than Us. I still think Get Out is his best film, like written wise. It's the best written one.
Probably because people wanted to see the aliens, and then they found out it wasn't like literally like just
It's
little
not
green men.
what you expect. Yeah.
And so I think that's all it is, and it's like, man,
The first time I saw it, I was disappointed. The second time I saw it, knowing how it all works out, I was like, this is genius.
Yeah.
And the second time I saw it in IMAX too. It was amazing in IMAX.
It's freaking Sprite Cranberry. I see it, man. It's just staring at me right in the eyes.
We got the Shirley Temple 7-Up too to try.
So yeah, somebody at work tried it recently. They're like, it doesn't taste like a Shirley Temple, but it's still good.
It's cherry pomegranate. So we'll see. The story is actually pretty solid. It's very artificial tasting, but Theo loves it. I'm like, cool, you can drink that. I'm drinking my Sprite Cranberry. On to our movie, TV, whatever recommendation, for today. You want to go first?
So I was actually gonna recommend. I was gonna give you kind of a unique one here. So when I was doing some stuff at work for the Marine Corps birthday thing that they were doing, um, I was talking to a supervisor who was asking me to sort of set it up, and he was like, "Yeah, you can find like old clips from like movies and TV shows." He goes, "Look up Gomer Pyle," and I was like, "Okay." So Gomer Pyle was a character that was supposed to be in the Marines, and he was like too innocent for his own good, right? It's like a I want to say like 50s and
Oh,
60s.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but to me it was a very like
I
it's
remember this.
nostalgic, it's very wholesome.
I think this guy was in like the Andy Griffin show or something like that. The guy who plays him.
I'm not sure. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that looks right. Yeah.
Played by Jim Nabros and introduced in the middle of the third season.
Um, but I
Oh, so he had his own. The character had his own show, but he was also the same character in Andy Griffin. Apparently,
so yeah.
that's crazy.
Gomer Pyle is like I remember watching that stuff and I was like, dude, this holds up. But it's
Wow,
like
he get. Is that one of the first spin-offs? I
I
feel like
don't
that's
know.
gotta be because this is like the '60s, dude. Like Andy Griffin was like '50s to '60s, and this is a 1964 Gomer Pyle USMC 5 seasons sitcom.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Either way, I really like I actually was laughing at some of the stuff that
Yeah,
was
that
being
old humor is clever, man.
yeah, and it's like I said, it's very like wholesome. Like there's nothing like
It's drier humor, I
I
would say.
I I mean, I
Like
guess yeah.
it's
Um
safer, like more politically correct humor.
like I mean one of the first things that happens in the show I think is like um they sit him down in like the barber chair and the the drill sergeant he's basically just like, "All right, tell him what you want." And Gomer Pyle's like, "Oh, I want you to like take it down by this much, and then I want it at this number on the top, and then square to the back, this and that, right?" And then he after giving like 2 minutes worth of directions, the drill sergeant looks at the barber and goes, and he just starts shaving everything off. He just starts going at it, and I was like, ah, like that's yeah, it's to be expected. But then afterwards, Gomer Pyle's just like, oh, well, it's probably your first time, so I don't blame you. And I'm like, he's, he just, I was like, he's not even mad. He's just like, it is what it is. But yeah, no, that's my recommendation. You can find clips of it on YouTube, but it says it's on Pluto TV.
Gomer Pyle. It's Gomer, and then Pyle is Pyle.
Yeah. So yeah, go check it out.
Dude, I mean, those classic TV shows. There's something about them, like Gilligan's Island.
Oh, I need to watch
It,
that, dude.
it's legitimately funny, and like the characters are like well written. Like you actually like they actually have like okay, it's hard to do. At least in a movie, I find it really hard making it so that like dialogue is not interchangeable is one of the ways to like prove to yourself that like the characters are unique. And it's not always possible, especially when it's like a group setting and people are just saying things like they could be interchangeable. But I remember watching Gilligan's Island, and it's like, yeah, these characters are completely different than each other. It's really interesting. Um, my recommendation is Jaws because I'm surprised to hear more and more like, oh, yeah, I've never seen Jaws. Jaws still holds up, 100%. That shit is so well written. It's so well directed, so well edited. The score is amazing because it's John Williams. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm telling you, watch that movie and then go in the ocean and try not to think about sharks. It's impossible. I mean, there's shots they mix in real footage of sharks here and there that really sells it, and to this day, they have not made a shark movie that lives up to Jaws. And I mean, we're talking about a movie from like the early '70s, right? It's like '72 or something like that.
Let me see.
Um,
75.
'75. So we're talking over 50 years now, or almost. Wait, is it about to be the 50th anniversary?
Holy crap, dude!
I gotta go see this bitch in theaters. They gotta be doing a re-release in
Wow,
theaters.
dude.
Oh, I hope they re-release it in IMAX. Because they played it in IMAX for like the 40th, I remember. So I want to go see that in IMAX. Hell yeah. Anyways, I remember I got into a schizo rant because somebody was talking shit about Pollo Loco and said that it was like the worst thing they've ever seen. It was like student film level bad. And I'm like, what student films are you watching? Because most student films I watch don't have a production budget at all. You know, that's insulting. Like explain yourself. And he couldn't really explain it. And I also talked shit because I was like, I don't trust anybody's opinion who gives Jaws 1 star. And he's like, oh well, I just think it's overrated, this and that. And I'm like, you could still think something's overrated, but you have to acknowledge that it's a fucking masterpiece. Jaws is a masterpiece, and it's a masterpiece that shouldn't exist because the shark was supposed to be in the movie more than it was, but it kept breaking down their animatronic shark, and so they relied on not showing the monster, and then every Jaws movie after that shows the monster way too much. Um, the only thing that I can really compare to it is like Tremors. They don't show the graboids for most of the movie, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're there, and you're like, "What the hell? I've never seen anything. It's like a giant worm."
Cloverfield was kind of like that as well, but Cloverfield was like a whole different kind of movie.
I think being found footage also means like it's kind of hard to show it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, that's a good example. But Jaws to me is it's literally one of the greatest movies ever made. If you have not seen it, it's always streaming somewhere. I think the rights to it bounces around. It's probably on Peacock because that's Universal and that's like one of their biggest properties.
It's on Netflix right now.
There you go. The first Jaws. The other ones are whatever. The other ones are fun at times. Jaws: The Revenge is not fun at all. The movie's pretty stupid. Like the shark like follows her to the Bahamas or something. Get the fuck out of here. Makes no sense. It like knows. It just like knows that she's part of the family and follows her to the Bahamas to terrorize her. It's like, come on, man.
That's
This
like
is getting supernatural.
Some Sharknado crap, bro.
Yeah, no. There was rumors that Spielberg might remake Jaws for like a long time, and then like nothing now.
Dude, did you hear they're gonna do?
If anybody's gonna remake it, it should be him.
They're gonna do another sequel trilogy for Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. I literally do not. I will watch the Mandalorian Grogu movie and maybe season 2 of Andor. The rest of it can fuck off. I don't care.
I don't care how
the first season of Andor was amazing, by the way.
I still need to watch that. I don't
Only
care.
other thing worth watching.
I don't care how controversial it might be. I think literally with that sequel trilogy, they need to say it's not canon. Remove the 7, 8, and 9 from it.
They won't.
I know they won't. But I wish they would.
My first AD on Pollo Loco was trying to convince me that they had done that. And I was like, what? I'm pretty sure people would be making a bigger deal about that. He's like, no, they did it, man. It's not canon anymore. And I'm like, I can't find anything that says that.
Yeah, not for 7, 8, 9. What they did was they took the books and stuff like that came out before 7, 8, 9 came out, as well as like the games.
They cherry pick.
And they said this is no longer canon, and then they chose stuff that they liked, like Admiral. What's his name, Thrawn or something like that,
and Boba Fett and stuff like that. Like they cherry picked what they wanted. I think Disney has completely ruined Star Wars. But I will say this: I am not. Let the 1 through 3 trilogy is nostalgic, but compared to A New Hope versus Return of the Jedi, storytelling wise, it's just not very good. I seriously think besides those first 3 movies, Star Wars has never been that great. I think it's been one of those overhyped franchises that like over its time has shown its chinks in its armor, and it's to the point now where everybody sees through it.
Dude, episode 3 is so good, dude.
Attack of the Clones is horrible.
Yeah, I haven't gone back and watched 1 or 2 in a long time, but 3 is to this day still like probably like one of my favorite movies of all time. It's not my 100% favorite, but like
episode 3 is just so dark compared to the other 2.
It's also just the visuals are great, man, and the music.
And the music is phenomenal. The music's always been pretty good. I will say that.
Yeah,
That's like
but
one thing that's consistent.
it's because it's just all I think of is like when it goes back between Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting, and then Yoda and Palpatine fighting, and like it's just going back and forth, and it's like, dude, like
To me, it
this
feels
is
like George
rough.
Lucas
Yeah,
I feel like George Lucas, that's the movie he wanted to make, and it's like, well, shit, I gotta make 1 and 2 first. I can't
yeah,
just skip to that. And so it's just like Phantom Menace is fine. It's kind of silly, but it's fine. I think it kind of ruins the mystery of Star Wars with the whole midichlorian thing. Um, Attack of the Clones is a mess. Like the first act is okay, then the second act is so boring. The third act is just like, why didn't we get to this part sooner? Because there's so much action and stuff. Like the arena thing was like a cool marketing ploy with all the stuff they did with it, but otherwise, like you look at it, nothing really happens. You know, the only thing that
yeah,
happens is like Jango Fett dies. That's like the only crazy thing.
yeah. I will say, Kenobi was like probably the closest that we've gotten to like
I still think that should have been a movie.
I think so
They
too.
fucked up.
I think you are right,
That would have made that would
dude.
have made bucks if it was a
That
movie that came out.
that fight between uh Obi-Wan and Darth Vader is like
It's
that
good, yeah.
hit,
But
bro.
everything else is just like I feel like they made I didn't like how they kind of made Obi-Wan a bitch. You know? They did.
Well, what was you were talking about the when Leia does like the slide, and you're like, what the heck is that, dude?
Yeah, dude, it has some of the worst fucking stunt work I've ever seen from a high budget TV show. Like I don't know what happened, man. Whoever the stunt guy was, fire that motherfucker. I don't know why it looks so bad. There's a guy, he literally like the branch hits him and he like falls like a second too late. It looks so forced. The like I can't stand when like it happens a lot in movies when like somebody gets knocked on the ground and they have to like somehow get the upper hand.
Uh,
Um
well, there's
where like
like
it's just clunky and it's like, nah, if that was real life, that shit would have happened way different,
in
you know?
in the first Avengers, there's a it's like when Black Widow first gets like introduced, right? She throws her head back to like headbutt the guy behind her, but only her hair hits him, and he's all, oh. And I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
Black
just
Widow's got some really bad CG, but I blame
no,
the pandemic on that.
not Black Widow. It was like the Avengers movie.
Oh,
There's literally a scene where it's just her hair hits the dude, and he acts like he got hit with a brick. Like it's like
well, the Last Jedi, there's a shot that people make fun of a lot where those guards in Snoke's little temple place or whatever, one of them straight up just like falls on the ground.
yeah, yeah.
They kept that in. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? If I saw that as a director, I'd have been like, oh, what the Act One.
Well, see, and that's the
Like,
thing. This thing, they could probably fix that with like I bet you there's a way to like paint over that, right? But
there's so many ways to go about it.
yeah, like well, I mean, like now that it's released, like you can fix that. But like, dude,
I mean, I talk about it's crazy for a franchise that I've fallen out of love with. I sure do like debate it a lot. The real issue to me was they spent all this money on Star Wars and Disney was like, we need to shit out a trilogy today. You know what I mean? And so why did they not secure J.J. Abrams for a full trilogy? I don't know if he didn't want to do it. I don't know if it wasn't offered to him. But the fact that he did the Force Awakens and it was like super solid,
I thought he was
not
busy.
groundbreaking, but what making what? The only thing that came out around that, like,
Overlord came out, right?
he produced that. He didn't direct it.
Oh, then I don't know. He produced that? Who directed it?
He produces. I don't know. He produces his ass off though. He's like Ridley Scott, where he produces everything now. Ridley Scott's got like 80 movies right now
Oh,
that he's
Julius
attached as a
Avery.
producer.
So okay,
But
as a producer, what do you do aside from just like supply money?
so that's a common misconception. The only time that a producer supplies money is if they're an executive producer, usually.
Okay.
A producer, because people are like, oh, like the cliche thing is nobody knows what a producer really does. Producers make the movie, like they make sure the movie gets made. They do everything they can to get the movie made, whether it's their connections, leveraging their connections to get the people attached, to get people in contact with the financiers. Maybe they're friends with a big name actor and they can convince them to do a part. Um, I mean, it could literally be like, oh, I'm gonna attach myself as a producer to this script, and I will talk to this director, and this director will do it because I'm a producer on the film. Like producers, in some way or another, affect how the movie gets made, or how fast it gets made, or who gets attached. If you want to know truly what a producer does, go watch the miniseries The Offer with Miles Teller. It's about how they made The Godfather. It is phenomenal. 10 out of 10 miniseries. One of my favorite miniseries ever. I kind of want to rewatch it because it's so well written.
Because
But
maybe he was just, yeah, producing.
sometimes a producer, literally just by putting their name on it, people want to do it. So if J.J. Abrams puts his name on something, people are like, well,
Well, that's
fucking
why
J.J. Abrams is on there.
that's
Let's do it.
that's why I was interested in the movie to begin with, because I was like, oh, it's J.J. Abrams. Like, I know J.J. Abrams makes good stuff. So, and then when I found out that when he told me that right now that he didn't direct it, I was like, oh,
Well, he was a producer on Cloverfield.
yeah, I found that out recently too. I was like, dude, I've
Yeah.
been lied to. I thought he directed that.
Can you believe the guy who made Cloverfield also did the second and third movie in the Planet of the Apes movies, and then the Batman? That's a talented son of a bitch right
Jesus.
there. That guy knows how to make some really like dark, gritty stuff, man. He-
Either way, like,
I believe his name is
well, you know what?
not,
I'm gonna look it
not
up.
Drew Goddard, is it?
Why didn't J.J. Abrams direct Last
Matt
Jedi?
Reeves. God damn it! What is wrong with me, Matt Reeves?
Uh, J.J. Abrams didn't direct The Last Jedi because Ryan Johnson was originally
Yeah,
slated
they
to helm that
literally
film.
had they had 3 different directors for that trilogy. They were like, basically, okay, you're gonna be working on this while this one's in production, and the third director literally like left
And so
after
J.J.
the
Abrams
Last
took
Jedi.
over
He
for it.
left, and so, and I guess they couldn't convince Ryan Johnson to do it because Netflix was like, oh, please come over here and make a Knives Out 2, 3, and 4 or whatever they're doing. And so JJ's like, all right, I'll do it. That paycheck looks good. And he came in and he it's a lot of people describe, God, we've been going on so long about Star Wars. Last thing I'll say, to me, the Rise of Skywalker, that's what it's called, right?
The last one, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like they were like, shit, we need to come up with something right now. We got to fix all this. Doesn't matter how. And they went to Reddit and looked at all of the great ideas that Reddit had and just threw them all at the
Dude,
wall.
that's like
And,
the only movie where after I finished watching it, I wasn't like stoked, and I wasn't like, this movie sucked. I was just kind of like,
I hate
all
watched
right.
it. I remember being at the theater just going, this is so bad.
I remember, but I walked
How
out.
is this so bad?
I walked out and I was like, all right.
That's
That
how I
was
felt
how.
with The Last Jedi. Yeah, I
Well,
walked out and I was like, I don't really know if I liked that or
So
not.
with The Last Jedi, the only reason why I remember leaving that movie being like, oh, that was cool, it's because of the freaking scene with the ship goes to like,
Oh yeah,
like,
that's definitely a highlight.
that
for
was
sure.
cool. But then like I think like 2 years later, I realized, oh, they just changed the entire landscape of combat in space for Star Wars, because that means you can make drones that do that and fly into ships.
Yeah, there was no reason for what's her face to commit Sudoku the way she did, is what people are talking
Commits-
about. But,
yeah,
Um.
that's a term that I say, man. You got that from me.
Well, I put it this way, man. They would have to completely turn things around for me to get invested in anything Star Wars related. Now.
I
Like
said they would literally
Andor
have to.
season 2, 'cause I know that's where it ends. And Andor season 1 has no business being as good as it is, Chris. It's one of those shows where I think there's how many episodes are in Andor season 1, dude? It's some weird number.
7.
12 episodes. So
12,
they're
okay.
like 4 episode arcs. So like it's like a 3-act season where the first 4 episodes tackle one arc. The second episode, or the second batch of 4 episodes, is like another like plot, but like start to finish, from episode 1 to 4, from 5 to 8, following Andor. But like, dude, it's just like it's a slower burn where there's more dialogue and stuff, and it's definitely like there's
It's
political ploys going on and stuff. But then there's these crazy action payoffs. There was a scene with ships that had a big payoff. Like Andor, hands down, I think besides first two seasons of Mandalorian, is the best Star Wars thing Disney's done since what was it, Rogue One. Rogue One was awesome.
I'm gonna have to log into the Disney Plus and try and watch it because
It's a good, like, well
I've
made,
been meaning to
high
watch a show
budget.
for a while, and I just haven't known what to watch. And I think Andor might be what I need to watch. Dude,
It's good, man.
I know we've been kind of schizophrenic about Star Wars for a while, but like, dude, you know what I miss? I miss being excited about like the Lego Star Wars stuff because they always had
Oh.
such cool concepts for that, and I think like that's the only good thing that's come from all the Disney stuff with Star Wars is they've had a lot more like
Well, that was
concepts
the
that are really
thing
cool.
before it, though, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
Was Lego Star Wars the thing before Disney had it?
Yes, but they like, dude, they came up with the set recently that had like dark versions
Oh,
of
you mean like
everybody.
Lego sets? Got
Yeah,
you.
like
Okay.
dude, they had like a
That's not good.
a light side Darth Vader. So he's like in all white and his lightsaber's blue, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like they had little
That's
concepts
cool.
like that, and
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
that's it's cool that they've had the inspiration to do that. But other than that, like most of the Disney stuff has sucked. Mandalorian has been decent. Boba Fett sucked. Um,
Yeah, well, Boba Fett didn't. I think people hate on Boba Fett too much. I think the issue is Boba Fett.
it wasn't
The,
about Boba Fett, man. Like what the heck?
it was like Mandalorian 2.5.
Yeah, and they could have called it that, and I would have been fine
It
with it.
started out as a Boba Fett show, then it turns into Mandalorian.
Yeah,
But I thought the Mandalorian stuff was great. That's how he gets the dark saber and shit back, right?
I
In that,
think.
yeah. I think Boba Fett is overhated. I liked Boba Fett more than Book of Boba Fett more than I liked season 3 of Mandalorian. Season 3 of
I
Mandalorian
didn't
was
see season
rough.
3.
You are not missing out, man.
I
You
need
could
to.
watch a YouTube video and
I
it's
want.
just as satisfying.
I want to rewatch Kenobi. Dude, they need to do like a Western
I'm
style.
pretty sure somebody did their own like fan cut of Kenobi and made it better.
They need to do like a Western style of like bounty hunter show
That's
for.
how part of Mandalorian was like when it first
But
started.
I mean, like, uh, was it Mandalorian season 2 or was it Boba Fett where like there's like that village? Maybe it was I think it was season 2. And then
I think
Cad
it's all
Bane,
the seasons have a village.
but Cad Bane shows up at the village, and like there's the
Yeah,
dude
I
that's
think
like
that
in
was
the
season 2.
yeah, and that was sick. Like that was a cool sort of
Yeah.
like story to
I
have
was like,
there.
I want to show about that guy.
Yeah, yeah,
But, you know, I don't know,
yeah.
man. I don't know. A lot of people blame Kathleen Kennedy for how Star Wars turned out. Just
Yeah.
she
Is
was
she
a big
still
she was a
doing that?
producer for Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, I think.
Uh,
I might have those details wrong. She was a producer for at least one of them. And people are like, yeah, she should stick to producing. She's good at making shit happen, but she's not good at like calling the shots. So
is
I
she
guess that's who I
still
blame,
is she
but
still in charge or what?
I believe so, yeah.
Let me see. I don't know. Either
I
way,
know the guy who's responsible for the Clone Wars, like Dave Filoni or whatever, is responsible for more stuff now. But
um, she's 71.
yeah, like I said, why is she in charge of the biggest franchise? Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's like you don't. She doesn't know what our generation wants from Star Wars. She's just like, oh well, they want nostalgia, but
No.
you know. And I feel like they're like, oh, Baby Yoda was a hit. Now we got to find a way to make cute things and everything, you know. And it's like, ugh,
Either way, I need to take a dump, so I'm ready to leave.
okay, uh, thanks for getting us to episode 60, guys. Should have at least one or two guests next week. Again, sorry about the logistical side of this stuff. I might have some facial hair because it's real quiet in the industry right now, and I don't shave when I'm not auditioning, and you can already see it's starting to get some
I
stubble. So
I
we'll
got
see.
I got a little bit of something too, but that's just because I'm lazy. Um. Anyways,
But Danny
thank
Dorito 23 on everything. What were you gonna
I
say?
was gonna say thank you for getting us to 60. The biggest thing about getting 60 is like how do I say it? We were gone for a long time, and the fact that people are watching still, it's that means a lot. Like we had that, what was it, like 2 years of no new episodes,
Hiatus, yeah.
and so I appreciate it. I know you appreciate it. But thanks for getting us to 60. I'm ready for 100, bro. I'm ready
Yeah,
for
well,
it.
I don't know what we're gonna do for 100. We gotta do something special.
Yeah.
Buy some G Fuel, get some Fit Butters, code Danny D on both of those. Subscribe to our Patreon, come game with us and ask questions and win some stuff. And yeah, we'll see you next week for 61. Hopefully World War III doesn't start before then. But peace.